about good 2.5 years ago.
12 years ago, yes.
About 2.5 years.
Was one day with the raining grey day, classic of German weather. We decide we do an album.
It was, with this equipment, but in a slightly different location over the road 100 meters away from here. Like majority parts, like even the early parts, we did here already.
Yes.
Before we moved over. So no, it's
Also before to do an album. Now seriously,
yeah.
we start as always to doing music. Then some track was different than the normal one. Club or this kind of things, so put in the corner and then step by step back to these projects, reopen, guitar player in the studio, add something, record the team on the ride with the microphone doing the... Seriously, no, we work like this, step by step.
Yeah, but generally, it's done here in this like very little village of Poggenhagen. I think probably that was the most important thing in preparation, to be like clear of like I was mentioning early on in the interview, like a trademark sound, whatever that is. I cannot really like grab it, like explain exactly this is the trademark sound, but we were trying to like follow this kind of like sound that was already like in the early years working on with Martin also in the old production combination. It's just like it's like, of course, modern interpretation, but like let's say a certain edge and feeling to that, like this also like bittersweet feeling, possibly bit melancholic, and I mean it's like out of all those things we tried out, I think that was the most important thing, and that was also the most important thing before we said, okay, let's map this all down to an album. But it's still a long process. A lot of things happened in the time, so obviously changing the studio a few times, etc., etc. So we're very happy that it's finished.
Yes.
We're very happy that it's finally on the market, and we're already thinking about like what is going to be like the next bigger project we got to work on, beside like doing the remixing, beside like the Santos and Timo Mass stuff, etc., etc.
But it was very, very cool experimenting with other stuff, with the singer, which normally you don't have in the studio for all the productions, or with the guitarist, with the bass player, something recording the drums, doing this kind of experimenting. It was very cool, very cool.
Or even the session with George Kochbeck.
Yes, with the keyboard player, with the real Moog, with the super amazing Hammond organ there. So was opening a little bit also the brain, the feeling for do something else, not just boom, 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 boom.
Not just track based, just something like song based, just different, just not essentially music that has the attitude to make people dance. Yes. Music that is like that has that just reflects what we are thinking when we are sitting in the studio day by day and trying to push boundaries somehow.
Timo always said, to push me, something, go without limits, go try experimenting.
That's too different. This is too much like standard. This is too much like I heard this. It sounds like this and that. Let's tweak it up. Let's do something. Let's find our more unique way. In that's basically, I would say, that's even the trademark since we work together. Yeah. To go even more into detail, to go even more into organic was a big word for us like 3-4 years ago. Let's
the link, yes, from between us is the organic.
It's just like
every element needs to be organic, with a private life and own life. Clap, hi-hats, kick, drum, bass, also the structure of the track. which is where we are very happy on the album is this. You can listen this organic programming, organic sounds generators, always moving in all the track, not randomly, but well controlled. This was the process.
Yeah, a loop is not a loop.
No.
Like when you really
Yeah.
listen to that, like not that's it's yeah, it sounds like a loop, but it has life in it. There's always some mini changes. There's always some kind of like effects coming up. Nothing is double. Nothing is like there in there twice. And it's possibly only us in the production really
No, I
hear
want to just say this,
really
no,
hear
maybe
this.
just
But
us,
I think
but-
the combination of like all this very fine and detailed work makes like possibly not possibly is most likely that is the unique sound we're talking about.
Yes.
Like
First, we need to be happy, and then if we are happy, also the people can feel this. When we are totally convinced, happy, that this is the organic, this kind of work, we like a lot. We like a lot. Was a very long process, so for this we use everything. Everything you are looking now, from the old synthesizer to super modern virtual instruments. But something always present was reactor with awesome FX module or with some sound generator module was always there. For sure, that was always there. Always. We have now Tantra, is a track from the album, which is also the first single will be released now after College 84 done with Brian Molko. And in our brainstorming, talking about elements, instruments in the music, one day Timo say, "Oh, Santo, I would like to have a track with some kind of arpeggio or something like this."
yeah, it was like when we were like pretty much close to like kind of like being able to wrap up the album, and yeah, and then I said, I just think we need something melodic, and what I really would like to try something with, yeah, as Santos says, with arpeggiator. Let's do something. Let's do something that is different and no standard.
So we started, start to compose something before tried with the machine we have here. Say, arpeggiator, virus B can be good. Let me check. So try to write the melodies, then working on the sounds. Same, I don't know. But then the sounds was a little bit too aggressive, too hard. So we moved from this machine to the Supernova or the JV. The Roland JV always is a cool machine because you can mix different kind of waves. So something more analog bass waves, square, etc., with some sample based waveform, a very small sample inside the machine. You can combine this, so you can have some glass effect with behind a square waveform playing together. We tried at the end opening a virtual instrument. You have the goal, no? So sometimes this is cool also for the young producer, don't have a lot of machine. Still, also today the virtual instrument give a lot of help. So opening Albino is a Rob Pen synth, very famous, is a classic virtual instruments. Starting to play the same melody with Albino, so changing waveform, which I like are the spectra waveform, because also here you can have something like real waveform, glass, metal, this kind of impression mixed with the virtual, but with the FX section more power than the real instrument, no? So and then we arrived to create the preset, which is the main sounds of the track. If this, so done this melody with all the changes. This is another part. The effects are coming from albino, yes, and more there is one reactor things also, which is I show you later, is a little bit my something in the ears. I put my preset. This is something which I use a lot. Give always the organic on the reverbers, on the delay, so you can listen the same loop for 3 hours, but sounds always different. And so creating the sound, because this is the main sound. So as Timo said before, something nostalgic, this, and then start to work to cover this sound with the bass drum, with other effects. So if we listen everything's together, and this is something where me and Timo discuss a lot about this track, because it was a track where we was happy, and sometimes we say, I don't know, maybe it's something too easy. No, I said, it's not too easy, because the way we work, especially the way I like to work with Timo in studio, is to give to the Timo Mass product the life behind every single instrument. For me, Santos also is more house music, but for the electronic, this kind of needs a lot of attention. So we have then bounced the albino. The albino, in this case, is a virtual instrument. So it's good when the virtual instruments start to be worked with the analog machines for give characters to the sounds, because for me it's good when you can have different section of work, the digital, the analog, the hybrid together. Give this different space to the sound. Is physical, you know. The virtual digital have a spectrum, the analog have another. Combine this together is the reason why I'm using this mixer, because this mixer is able to mix the analog and digital together. So take the sound, put the sound in a bus. The bus at this moment have the two mainly units. One is an equalizer, one is a compressor. Everything is managed by the summing unit machine, the Dangerous, and go to the apogee converter and back to the computer, to the mixer and to the computer. So immediately the same sound going to the analog is different. So
A lot more body, just like...
it's not just the volume. Then this is my favorite toys, the spectrum analyzer. So finally checking what's happening. Likely we have a good harmonic on the 125 Hz. The harmonics are the signal where you have the light not well light brighting. This is you can
Where
see
it's only shining a little bit.
a
Yeah.
shining, a shadow. This is the main harmonic of the sound. So it means have a good body, 125 hertz. Still we have space for a good bass, for the good bass drum, etc. So working on these sounds, we can bypass the equalizer. So immediately the sound it's real. This is what normally in the mix session needs to be done sounds by sounds. Not for the kick drum, but for the rest, groove, bass, synth, vocals, needs to be done this work separated, because then you know exactly where is the sound, fix the frequencies of the sounds. So if you have some problem on the high frequencies and maybe we can have some problem with the hi-hats. So it's better to cut something for leave the space to the other instruments. So this is why we re-record also all the visual instruments on this song. And this is the technical side for the sound. Then we started the creative, the arrangement sound, because this is the track recorded, but as you see, it's totally chopped. So again, back to the main melody. This is MIDI. So we have this. It's still MIDI, playing MIDI. We have here the audio, where at the moment is working a filter, opening a little bit from the beginning to the track till the end, the sounds. A chopping, also if we chop small delay, just for have the sound a little bit longer, do for 8 minutes all this kind of job. Or create here a loop, which was not played as a loop, but then chopped and created this loop, because we need this kind of loop after the breakdown, change a little bit the situation, looping this part, and then back to the main melody, but it's always different. So the chop we have here are not the same here, and will be not the same here. For this, the track can sound a little bit, say, it's a track with an arpeggio, or no, it's not like this. You have to listen better and better. So this is the main melody. Of course, then kick drum, all the groove. But the main work also after the melody is the bass. So for don't have this static sensation of the track, so putting just a loop bass was very hard to find the bass on this track. And the bass is something I'm very proud of this bass, because all the melody, the notation are doing is very cool. And the bass is, of course, we tried with the Moog, we tried with everything, but then the goal was using a kick drum, put in a sample machine virtually. So using the MIDI, wrote for a synthesizer, triggering a kick drum with a little bit of slide. So the attack of the sound is not so hard, but a little bit when two notes also crossing, you have a little bit this slide, helping a lot the groove of the bass. So a lot of automation. This is the starting project. So because then bouncing with the Malay, bouncing, then we have the final track only with the entire stems of the track, and then mix it. This is the final step. This is still the first step. So we have the bass, then start some rhythm things. The click. Me and Timo have a passion for the clicks. Is a passion. We like to create clicks, atmosphere with the microphones, and also this I show you later, which is the best way, my way to do this kind of things. So reach the track with the different elements. This is the groove. One groove was programmed separately and then matched together. So here you start to listen the complexity of the track. You know, is already still we have another 25 tracks to be to open, but start to be already complex. The noises, giving the atmosphere, all the bass is amazing. For example, this is the classic things we like to put. Something you don't listen on the track, but give for this track we need the melancholic things. So experimenting with very dark drone pad. So I mean the main theme of the track is totally carry on things, but putting this pad, this help to describe the melancholic more.
Yeah, the feeling of
the
it.
feeling,
Yeah.
yes.
It's a lot of subtle stuff. It's
A lot.
a lot of subtle stuff.
And does that drum come from Reactor as well?
Yes, bravo. You recognize the sound. So, this is the classic, the magic of Reactor. Super machine. A lot here also. Just sounds, effects. So this, what we are listening now is totally different than before. So you see something like 2-track, before was totally grooving stuff. Now we are exploring what is behind this. So going in macro. This is one of the kick, because then I decided to use another one. Also now there is some clip because this is where we start for arrange the track. So it's still
Very early version. Yeah.
very early version. It's not with the fade in, fade out things. So it's very. So we start, we back to the groove, all the elements. Then we open have here pretty much everything's going on. At the edit on Cubase, I like very a lot this function of arrange the track with the patterns. So sometimes arranging the track when you have a project complex like this, copying apart, I do a mistake with automation or with the little chopped is very easy, you know. So we're talking with Timo, oh, we need this part longer. Oh, allora I need to cut, put this, no. It's better to use this function where in Cubase is very power, and this is the arranger track. So with arranger track, we define our patterns, what we want to use. So we, for example, now I go random. I know this track have, okay, one small bar of, for example, this. I extend like that.
What exactly does the arranger track do?
Yes, is now the first step when you open here arranger track, you have to define the patterns. The patterns are, for example, I put say to the computer, to Cubase, play me this sequence of the patterns. So don't take care anymore of the song, but play the sequence I tell you. So I want you to play A and then the segment B. So immediately Cubase start. Okay, I can do also shorter. So immediately go on another section of the track. And this, when we are working on the arrangement, on the edit of the track, is very easy to use, because when you define where are the most important patterns, or you mean the breakdown is here, okay, I want double this, okay, allora I can say I can define, for example, A, this small piece, I want this for 4 times, and then you go to this other one on the break, on the C.
One time.
1 time, 3 times, 8 times, 15 times. So also this is very cool for create the loop and arrange the loop very fast, because when you have the right loop, you can say, okay, copy for 64, then you go to, immediately in 5 minutes you have the structure of the song. Also 9 minutes of track. You have 9 minutes, 10 minutes, then you can cut again. This,
It's really easy to use. It's
very
really
easy.
helpful. Yeah.
So we start with segment A. So the segment A will be played 4 times now. 1, like here. You have second, third, 4. Now go on the other. Then when you decide the structure of the track, you say, okay, make me the track like I've done. Now I do randomly. For example, I say, this is A, this is B, this is C. A. Okay. Allora, I put this segment here. For example, A 2 times. Then I say, okay, give me do the track as I done.
Yeah, basically arrange the track, and now the track is rearranged with this function completely.
completely.
So you basically
Without copying or losing some elements, or without create. Also, because with automation, you have the moments where the filter is perfect with the delay in that moment, but here at the moment there are 77 tracks, so it's hard to say, okay, where is the delay? Maybe the delay are playing on 5 tracks in the same time, so you have to go on the 5 automation. No, you take the loop you like, you copy, and then you don't lose that momentum of the creative moment, you know? Because it's always important to don't lose the creative moment. So we arranged the track, decided all the elements before this, before that, growing slowly the melody with the filter, do this leader snare filling, so taking care of all the elements, choosing also what is right, what is no good, what is better. Then we have the bounced version, still all separated. In this mixer, I can save always the project, the mixing situation of the moment. So easily I can recall my projects. So also try to do 5-6 different kind of mixing, and then after 3-4 days choosing the best. Or maybe to say, I want to change a little bit on channel 15, 16. So immediately recall the project. So the father move in the situation I lived the last time. Okay, we have 4 different surfaces here. One is for the bass, which we use for the analog equipment in the mixing. Now we are talking only about mixing. This is the different surfaces where you can control the sound card output, and then the real input, so the external machine. Here are the effects, so the sense, the return of the effects. So this is the bounced version. So no more automation, not any more problem to still. You can see we changed the kick drum. So sometimes we need the kick drum filtered, sometimes the kick drum in full power. So just copying the track, cutting a little bit the frequency you need. In this way, in this moment, we need just to cut a little bit the bass frequencies. So also the basic equalizer on Cubase can do we don't need a special plugin for cut the 47 Hz. So there is also this resonance always going there. This is what we said before, no? Always the organic is always present. This is the filtered kick drum. Also, if it don't sound filtered, check. Here more. Now without the filter, the kick drum give me the red. Before no was red, now is red. So cutting just the kick drum minus 0.8 dB. We have no clipping, now it's clipping. So this is the track. This is the spectrum analyzer, which is one of the most This is the spectrum analyzer, one of the most important things in the studio when needs to be done some mix down. Here is where you can see the sounds you are using and make some correction when we need to do some correction, but also this is sound by sound, but also checking the entire mix down. So, spectrum like this is not very at the moment very well done. The mid-height section, we don't have no nothing here at the moment. So, going onto the mixer, this is the solo, I check, okay. This is something I say, maybe it's better to give a little bit of life here. We start to see something. And then make some correction. Normally I use the equalizer inside the mixer, working, I have to say, very good. When there is some problem, something very, for example, we have this groove. For sure at the moment the groove don't have any plugin because it's already bounced. But if I want to correct this, there is this brand which I like, is the Kejarus. Strange brand, also is don't existing anymore, but doing very cool units. This is equalizer, and this is very precise equalizer.
So you're just giving the track some high mids now that was missing from before?
Yeah, at the moment, just on these two channels. We are working on 24 channels at the moment on these two channels because there are the hi-hats parts working here. This is with the plugin, this is without. So of course, this is sounding behind the speakers. Now is sounding in front. So, but with this simple example is to let understand to the people about the spectrum analyzer. I was giving here boosting frequencies from 5,000 Hz till 16,000 because I checked on the spectrum analyzer that part was very poor. So the spectrum analyzer, repeat, working, helping a lot, sound by sound, cleaning the sound when you have some sub frequencies of something we record with a microphone, with the speakers give the warm feeling, say, oh, this sound is very warm. Then we go to mix the track and the kick drum, the bass no work, say. Why? Because there is some sub frequencies work at the same frequencies of the kick drum, 50 Hz. Normally the kick drum today are between 40 and 50 Hz. Going there, so start to do something wrong, to interfere. So this is the tool to watch this. There are millions of virtual spectrum analyzer, or like Live have their own spectrum analyzer. But spectrum analyzer is something, is a picture. So using this since 15 years, for me is familiar to look this picture. Then look something else, I don't feel comfortable. No? So for this I use the real one. So for this track, the bass is very important, and we tried to play the bass line with external machine. Like at the moment is the GV 1080 working, which is very warm bass, so we can go 31, 40 hertz, but the functionality of the sound we was not convinced. So I opened Ableton Live in Rewire. So just open the sampler in Ableton, try some sound, and then at the end we had this was a kick drum, then cutted a little bit, worked, moving the MIDI file from Cubase, so exporting the MIDI file of the bass and importing in Ableton. This is then the final sound without any processing still. As we saw before, the peak of the bass was more fixed around the 63 Hz, the 100, the 160. Here is still wild because it's without any processing with the Mallet, cutting the sub-frequencies, something we don't need. And what is very cool here in Ableton is the quantize function, because you have a lot of presets. So going here on the menu, groove, you have the presets Ableton give with the software. So we have hip hop, Latin percussion, Logic, MPC, the Akai notator, the father of Logic, other percussions, rock, the SP 1200, the emulator sampling drum machine, very important for the clubbing music. Roger Sanchez, Todd Terry needs to say thanks to this machine for the shuffle, because there the shuffle is the Todd Terry, very famous in the 90s for the shuffle things. This is where you can create that kind of shuffle of the material more. You can choosing something where you can start, so normal 16 swing. You have here a second window, immediately open, give you the information about the quantize you are using. So at the moment we are at the 116. The quantize says 0, so it's pretty straight at the moment. The trimming is to 100%, so is more precise in this moment. The velocity, so the velocity are how much you give the pressure on the single notes, and you can playing around these parameters and do your own quantization. So in this moment it's just on one track, totally MIDI, you see. There is the MIDI information here. But the magic things you can do it also in audio, on the audio elements, on the audio parts. So when you have a loop or even a track, you decide to change the quantization, so the swing of the track, give it more funky or more straight. Playing around on this parameter, you can have totally different solution. Then in this case, for the bass, it's just one track. Choosing the right parameters here. Of course, needs to follow the track, the percussion, all the noises present on the track. We found the right things with the bass, exporting, mixing, and then. Okay, normally for do all the background in the track, all this organic work, I create a template where I always start, called the generate, something where it's possible to generate something on Cubase. It's very slow to load because there are heavy stuff here at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 FX channel where where there are some module from reactor collected in the time, in the years. So here we have here a module called the Gaudon. This Gaudon is working, of course, in sync with the sequencer we are using. So if we are using the sequencer, put 123 BPM, immediately you see change the picture of the module, because now it's synced. This is create envelopes on the equalization, on the reverber, on the phase of the sound. Then we have another module here, and this is the echo vibrato. Is an echo reverber working very organic with the vibrato, especially with the echo, plus the reverber, create a very interesting combination. Then we have a random glitch module, which is now also is working. See, everything, the rotation are working, so they are working on the different things, all synced, but on the delay. In this case, is a glitch plus a delay. Then we have this distortion, something like guitar rig of IKI Multimedia, which is cool. And then a compressor, flat blaster, is serious multi-band compressor. We have high frequencies, mid and high, mid-low and low compression. Forgive to all these things, the right punch, the right presence. Also don't have a lot of peak going there, but if everything's limited, is better. So normally microphone. So I put the speakers off for don't have the feedback problem. Just listening a little bit, or maybe run the small. And we record.
voice.
It's better when you do also this with a kick drum there when you want to build something on beat. So for this I have a machine already here with one kick drum easy, just for have a click. In this case is this. Then we can do another track here. Like this. Running a machine. We put in solo the mixer. In this way we have we are listening, we can listen the drum, but it's not going on the main output, so we just only listen. So everything we do now, waiting the loop, we record only from the microphone. Pom 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 pom. Okay. Now you say how you can do a track from this. I started the game we like. I start to open the plugins here on the material recorded. This is so. Are in solo. Boom. And this will be always different. There is the blank here.
Voice.
The compressor is very strong. Okay, allora, I don't know. We're starting with something. We now have all this. Will be always. Also, if we stay here 3 days, will be always different. Even if I stop, they are going. So I recorded also before the voice. Pom 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 pom. Okay. Very early 90. Pom 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 pom. I go in Cubase, say, okay, find me the MIDI of this audio. So I have here already the MIDI instruction. I create a MIDI part. I put very close to this track. This is now. Okay. Back here, say okay. Please do a MIDI track of this audio. So now we have the MIDI information. From the voice, we have the MIDI information. Of course, it will be not super quantized, because when you have the headphones, have better, but the MIDI start to arrive to the machine, to the synthesizer. In this case is a GV 1080, or I can put in the Moog where I want. Select the channel, very low pitch, so I change the pitch. Then I can change and adjust piece by piece. This is, I don't need anymore this track. The kick drum is a little bit needed to be quantized, of course. I try. So also here putting then other stuff, bongo or other things. You have this kind of the famous organic, one of the example, how do the organic things in a track, which is for us very important to have always in the background something organic. Programming this in different ways, so I can randomize this, of course, different. Then export with the less reverb. If we want, for example, we want something more dry. Chopping this can be something to use for create a groove, for example. So
Don't delete that one.
never.
801.
So, chopping this. Try to give a little bit of quantization. Okay, a bit of fade out. Now is on time. Then library, for example, we go the Timo Mass Loop Masters libraries, where we have a lot of stuff. Heads. This is very fat. Yes. We like always know something to clean. Always something also. This, of course, is too much. These ghost notes make, my opinion, also the groove more interesting. Clap. Good. I duplicate now the track with the noises. And so on. This is the machine drum. Record also the automation of this. Maybe it's too much, so here I have then everything can be done here. For example, okay, this. Pitch. Just this shot, or just going inside the recording and choose another part. Was it your voice? Was something with your voice? And go here. Here, this. then if we need some shaker, we can do something like this, trigger, then start to combine this recording with the Moog, with the distortion, start all the process, percussion from the orbit. The orbit is MIDI 4. Just working on the automation of the reverber of the machine, of the drum machine, and so on and so on. And then here, as I told you before, with Arranger, is immediately easy. Okay, this is now a very short loop, so what I can do for cleaning all the song, I can say, okay, I have this little segment, I say repeat for 64, okay, do it. So there is already now 4 minutes of material where we can immediately, this is all the same, but then, thanks God, exist the randoms things. Doing live all this stuff, choose the parts we like. Again, with arrangement, say, okay, this part is cool. Then we maybe find another part here. This we can do without kick drum. This we can do with snare filling. Start to combine all the patterns, and then create the basic structure for the track.